I'm Ellie Grace, and today we're reviewing Chase Tinker and the House of Destiny by Malia and Haberman. So first off, I want to say that I love the Chase Tinker series, and I was so happy to get the opportunity to review the next book in the series, because if you've read the first two, you know that this is so well written and it's so exciting and the magic is great, and you just want to know what's going to happen with the Tinkers and the Marlowes and Chase and all of them. You want to know what's going to happen next. So for me, this was a no-brainer to review, and if you've read the first two, of course you know that, hey, you want to read the next one. If you're going to start reading this series and you want to know if you should start it, definitely you should start it. I don't want to give anything away to what happens in this book, because if you're trying to figure out whether to read it, it's going to be kind of a contradiction, but I wanted to say first that you should read this series, so that if you are trying to figure out whether to read it, you know that you can. And now I'm going to go into the third book to talk about it, and if you don't want spoilers, you don't want to know what's going to happen, cut it off right now. Okay, so for everybody else, the Chase Tinker series opens up with Chase. He's in school, and he's just the last day of school. It's going to be summer when he finds out that he has to do summer school because he hasn't been concentrating. This story focuses a lot on Chase having a lot of inter battles. He has Jane being gone, being evil, and whether he killed her. And then also, he has his brother being mad at him, and some love issues, and trying to protect his family and becoming the next keeper of the house. All those issues are, boiling in him, and it's a real struggle for him to keep everyone happy and keep himself happy and do the right thing all the time. And so there's a lot of that going on. Also, a Marlowe comes to stay, which I was like, oh my god, and Chase is like freaking out. The whole family gets a little bit crazy. There's the mom, and then Chase's dad, and grandpa, and the cousins, and there's a lot of people in this story. And Haberman, she does such a great job to explain and go back from the first book and the second book to keep you on the right path. If you're like, what was that person's name, or what happened, or why do we call it this? She goes back and she always keeps you apprised, and she always makes sure that you remember details and names of things. So that was always great, because I'd be like, wait, what was that? Did that? And then the next sentence, it would be like, and this happened, blah, 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 last time. And I'm like, oh, okay, didn't even need to go back. She puts it right here for you. So if you ever have read a book where you don't remember every detail in the first, and then somebody goes back and brings that detail up and just throws it in your face, and you're like, what? You won't get any of that. It's so well written, so clear. The imagery, the magic is amazing. I love everything about this book. Really, I did. One thing that I want to point out is that this is kind of a filler book for the next book, because there's so many things that we need to catch up on, and little details that need to take us into the second book, or the next book, I should say, the fourth book. So nothing really gets resolved in this book. It's just a lot of building and building and building until we get to this climactic part, which I'm guessing the next book will have some big scenes in it, and so I'm really excited for that. I kind of don't like filler books, because I want books to be resolved at the end, but I understand that, you have to write as much. You can't, to make a series, you have to leave, sometimes you have to leave cliffhangers, and so I understand that 100%. Usually at this ending point, I will say, would I recommend this book? And I would, and I feel like if you've read the first two, you know that you should go for this one and continue on to the fourth book, because oh my gosh, so good. It's just so good. And so I feel like I don't need to recommend it anymore. I've recommended it at the beginning of the video and I've recommended it now. So I feel like you definitely should read it. Definitely continue to read this series, and I suggest this to anybody who loves fantasy. If you're trying to get this for your kids and you want to know whether or not this series, as I've done 2 of the other reviews, if the series continues to be great, it does. And I think that it's definitely something that kids are coming of age, and I just want this to be a movie so badly because I want to see the house, I want to see all these details. If this was a cartoon, I'd be so happy too. If I want pictures, I want this to be animated, or I want it to be in, like, you know, real life. It's such a great book, and I really hope that she continues to write these stories and continues to, you know, build up on this and, like, gives playing cards or something so I can see these characters and, you know, feel like, you know, I'm living in the world, because that house in this story is so amazing. So I just want to say that you should definitely read this book. You should definitely continue this series. Definitely check out this author, because it's a good magical book, fantasy, for anybody who likes that. And kids and young adults can definitely read this book. It's definitely a ride, and it's something that everyone should check out. So, happy reading, everybody. I'll see you next time.